This week on Reliving the Extreme, November 12th, 1996 is the episode of ECW we are discussing. Nate Maxon, your host, here along with my brother Aaron.
Hello.
And Mr. Chad Bo Howard Austin.
No, it's not Bo Howard. It's Chad Bozy. Sabooozeee.
Before we went on the air, Aaron noticed that Chad was he thought Chad's hat that he was wearing, that Chad had grown the Mo Howard haircut. We are kind of three stooges here.
It's Sabooozeee.
What is that boozy thing? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I don't know, but I'm jumping on it. Well, I might as well. I mean,
who's that guy? That singer guy.
I don't know who that is.
He redid the Rehab song or whatever, and he's a rap country guy. I don't know, but his name is Sabooozeee.
What is the deal with rappers who want to do country and country people want to do rap? Like, whatever happened to staying in your lane, Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll. I call Jelly Roll Fat Post Malone.
He looks like Post Malone. He looks like Post Malone and the Mucinex booger had a baby.
The Mucinex booger.
And then peed on it.
You say Grotto? Have you seen that guy yet?
No, Grotto.
I think his name is Gordo or something. The big fat guy that tries to do little guy stuff.
No, I'm gonna have to check that out.
The wrestler?
No, it's just some like completely overweight, sloppy, out of shape, fat, like probably 20 something. I'm talking humongous big. Yokozuna big. Like, and he's trying to buy like a smart car, like one of the little cars. And he's trying to do all kinds of stuff that, like we could do. Walk.
Pulls up in his little green car. Get in the pee. I have no time to explain.
Dude, this guy, I'll since I've watched a bunch of videos recently, I'm sure it'll pop up on my timeline. I'll tag you him or something. This guy's a slob. Looks like Mass Transit.
That's where all that boozy stuff came from, was that Sabooozeee. To me, it sounds like an on as seen on TV item that you'd use to like clean your grout, clean your grout or whatever.
Clean your grill, but not the one you cook on, the one in your mouth. It's the Sabooozeee.
For 4 easy installments of $19.99, the Sabooozeee can be yours.
The Sabooozeee, yeah. Clean those hard to reach places of your bathroom or whatever.
Get that hard to reach plaque off your gold fronts. You got a little bit of blunt guts stuck in the back there that you can't get out with a toothpick.
I forget. I never understood where the things will be like. It'll help you reach your heart. It'll help you water your hard to reach plants. Like, well, why'd you make your plant hard to reach, idiot?
Right on. I'm still trying to figure out what plaque psoriasis is, and if I got it or not. I keep smiling in the mirror, and I don't think that's it.
I think it's caused by gluten, and I don't know what gluten is. So
nah, neither does Tommy Dreamer.
I think Tommy knows too much about it.
He don't know how to say no to it. I mean, yeah, this was a completely Tommy Dreamer free episode, I believe.
Yes, it was. Well, yeah,
kind of,
sorta. They referred to him because of funk, but yeah.
Yeah, they ruined it. They ruined it too early. Either that, they just got it out of the way. They were like, he's not going to be on the show, so we got to get it in here sooner or later. So here it is.
Yeah, we are just a couple of days this episode of ECW, just a couple of days before November to Remember 1996. And when we open up the show, we actually open up the show with the footage from last week. So we won't rehash.
It's once again a recap of last week, but this week showing us the recap from last week.
Yeah, pretty much. It was the recap of the 96 apparently. All funk videos with a bad Archie Mitchell guitar solo riff over top of it.
Yeah, after that they make the announcement official that Terry Funk is going to be Tommy Dreamer's partner at November to Remember against Shane Douglas and primetime Brian Lee, because the thing between Dreamer and Lee, as we said, will not end. It just keeps going, just like 1996. It just keeps going and going and going. And then we get a video of the highlights from Terry Funk's career in ECW, and it is set to WWE, terrible WWE network music.
Sound like disco, like discount Santana's music is what it sounds like. It's discount Santana.
This isn't Santana, it's Tito Santana.
Wouldn't it be great if they did that whole entire Funk recap
It
video?
ain't even Tito Santana, it's Ricky Santana.
What if they had that whole entire great video package with that great music and everything, and instead of Joey Styles announcing that it was going to be Terry Funk, he announced it was going to be Marty Funk? Would you have popped? She's like, "Oh no, Terry ain't doing it for that price."
Yeah, I was gonna say, Marty picked up the phone. Like last week, Tommy he didn't talk to Terry. He talked to Marty.
Oh, he was.
She wouldn't have accepted a collect call.
Oh no, she's not accepting a collect call.
It's like, is Terry there? No, Terry's not here. Is Dory there? No, Dory's out getting his medications.
Tommy would have had to leave it like, you have a collect call from. This is Tommy. I need a partner.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Sorry, no Terry here. If Marty answers the phone.
Sorry. We're gonna send you Jimmy Jack Funk.
Mikey Whip Funk. Funk Myers.
We're gonna send you Dick Slater doing his Terry Funk impression.
He's like, I don't care what you do, just don't send me Alan Funk. No Kiwi situation going on.
Should I take Dick Slater? You better believe I'd take Dick Slater. Oh shit.
Bring your knife. Heard you're good with it.
Yeah, tool it.
That brings a question to mind. You know, Terry comes back here to ECW. How cool would it have been if they could have just, even for like one shot or something, if they could have got fucking Dick Slater and Bunkhouse Buck and have the stud stable in ECW for just one night, maybe.
Oh, with Robert Fuller.
Robert Fuller.
Oh, there's no doubt that they would have gotten over. I mean, even all jokes aside, if you wanted them to be serious, that they would have gotten over in ECW. That goes without saying. That's a nice one though. Who did I think I posted something the other day about somebody that would have been great in ECW. Oh shoot, I can't remember who I posted about. But now people that pop up and I think about him like, damn, they'd be great for ECW. But yeah, the stud stable, fuck. Hell yeah, not for me to. Oh yeah, I'd work them.
Did you ever? I mean, maybe not necessarily work with him, but did you ever work on any shows that Jimmy Golden was on?
Yeah, WCW.
Oh well, yeah. I guess yeah. Duh.
I think the only one I ever talked to was Robert. I saw him at catering, but it was kind of like, hey, we know what's going on kind of thing. But I think I may have just said I may have stared at Jimmy Golden, like in the locker room. Just I'm like, how do I go up and talk to him when he's looking all poor? I felt like throwing him a handout or something. But yeah, just Robert Fuller's the only one I got to talk to really.
There was when he did Bunkhouse Buck. He did such a good job of transforming his look to where you look at that guy and he looks like he smells like cat litter. Like this man, he just looks like he's disgusting. It was great the transformation he did to become that gimmick, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Oh, I wouldn't mess with him in real life either, man. None of them guys. I think I'd rather fight probably Ron Fuller. It's probably the weakest link in that one. Even though Golden, Jimmy Golden's not even a Fuller, he's still Fuller.
I wanted to fight you back though because you're not a woman. So.
No, I wouldn't even want to fight Sherry. Good God, how come I didn't make the Funk video? I was pissed. I didn't make it in the Funk Sabooozeee video at all. They both beat me up a few times. I figured there would have been a finger, a boot, or something in there of me.
Not Funk, of course, says this is going to be his first appearance in ECW since November to Remember of 95. So it's been a whole year since we've had Terry Funk and ECW coming back, and we know it's a whole funkin' year, and we know where this is all heading. After this November to Remember is over with Terry, but we'll get to that as we get there. Then we roll into, they pick up in pretty much in progress a match between Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley with some nice unprotected chair shots going on here.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I hear Bubba talking about that stuff a lot, and like he's just like me. If you're not going to take him like that, then just don't take him. You know what I'm saying? Just it's better. I'd rather him look believable and be believable than to be all like he took one that was kind of crappy, but after like the first one or whatever, I can see why he didn't. But yeah, if you can't take him like that, then don't bother.
Does with a chair shot, I don't even know how to put this as not being a worker. The way is it more the way the other guy swings the chair, or more the way you position yourself to take the chair?
It's both. That dude better hit you with that ass of that chair, like smack dab in the middle, like right above the forehead kind of spot. Like you feed him that area and he hits you with that ass of that chair, it's gonna hurt. It would definitely not. It would. I mean, I don't know. I've never been hit in real life, like kind of like real life like that. But even still, the ones that I've been hit with, I would never be rendered unconscious, or no guy would ever beat me up in a bar unless they really hit me with a chair, and that's like Balls Mahoney kind of. But yeah, it's the way you just the neck. You just kind of like know it's coming and make sure that he hits you with that ass of that chair, man. That lip is brutal.
Reminds me of Bobby Heenan. I've been hit in the head with a chair so many times, the top of my head smells like an ass.
I've seen. I mean, one of the best chair shots I've ever seen was from Balls. We had like these jabroni security guards that kept breaking up like matches and stuff, and the best was it was like three of them, and we had it set it up to where one guy would turn around at a time, and Balls would hit him. And the one guy's name was Doyle, and the other guy's name was Butterman. And the one guy who got it first, nobody knows. But after he hits the one guy, the second guy kind of turns his head and is like, "Oh shit!" And after he gets it, Butterman, he turned his head. He thought he was gonna cry before he even got hit. He started cringing. Oh my god! It was one of the biggest pops in the locker room from the boys, because Balls hit him extra hard at that point.
Melted like butter, man.
Dude, me and my friend Monica still joke about him today, because she still talks about him. I'm like, next time you talk to him, bring up that chair shot again. She goes, I do every time I talk to him. Because I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest looks on that guy's face after he just seen the other two guys get it. Screw all that shit, man.
So they kind of cut through this Bubba Devon match. We only get a little over a minute of it, but we get the multiple chair shots to the head on Bubba. Then they clip to Bubba hitting a plancha, and then Devon lands on his feet out of a powerbomb attempt, picks up a chair, and lays out Bubba to get the win. But what I saw, I mean, like I said, it was very quick of what we saw of it. But I don't know if that's because of time constraints or because those were just the high spots and the rest of the match they deemed boring or something. I don't know, but it was really chopped up.
Yeah, probably just TV. Because it was at the arena. Because Joey made a point of saying that these are all like arena shows, or did he?
Yes. Some of it's I think some of the shows in the ECW arena, and then some of the shows in the Middletown show.
That Lost Battalion Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering why he said one place, and then I realized it was back at the when I saw the arena, and I was like, that's not that Lost Battalion Hall.
After the match, they clip to Axel in the ring destroying Spike Dudley with a chair. And then we get the emergence of Big Dick. Big Dick Dudley comes to the ring, confrontation with Axel. And for a dude his size, that was a pretty good fucking moonsault Big Dick Dudley hit.
Wasn't a moonsault, it was a dick salt.
Yeah. Yeah, Axel. The one thing I noticed about Axel, and I guess I'm the only one that's ever going to notice it, is that right before he gets the moonsault, you see him pull his shirt down over his belly. He can't be laying there prone on the mat with his tits hanging out, because they would have been. But yeah, that moonsault. I mean, dude, that's a big dude, man.
Yeah, no, I forgot that Big Dick Dudley could do a moonsault, and when he went up to the top rope, I was expecting, like, I don't know, like he gets crotched or something, and then he did it, and I was like, holy shit, look at that.
I don't think he ever did it again. I don't know. Like,
Axel wasn't close either.
No, it was. I mean, it wasn't Kurt Angle perfect, but it was perfect for a big fucker like him.
Wearing big work boots. Yeah, totally, man. That was pretty impressive. It had to have been for the people that are alive.
I've never seen, and I don't know if he did. I don't know what he did before. I've never seen Big Dick Dudley before Big Dick Dudley in ECW, so I don't know what his work. I don't really know what his work was like on the indies, but I just don't know. I don't know what his
nothing.
Okay.
Believe me, there's a reason why he got injured and stayed injured. Even when he wasn't injured, Paul told me he was injured. Just act like you injured, Mike Sharp. We don't want you doing anything, especially with them chicken legs you got.
Let me see here. Anything else, Aaron, on this segment?
No, just like you guys said, it was impressive to see that big bastard hit that dick salt. So you gotta give him credit on that.
I loved like right after this when they cut back to the back and they're talking to like Axel, whatever. Dude, Axel's not only was he off, like I don't know, I don't really necessarily think that he was he was really high, like during that promo or whatever when he made that like challenge to like Gertner or whoever he said it to, but that was the worst acting I've ever seen Axel do.
Yeah, it was. And what Chad's referring to is they show us a clip of Devon and Axel kind of giving, I guess you call it a concerto, but like a double chair shot to Big Dick. And they do it in this weird slow motion thing. But anyway, so then Big Dick attacks Axel and Devon back in the locker room. And then after that, they are approached by Joel Gertner as they're arguing about who gets to face Big Dick Dudley. They both want to face Big Dick Dudley. Joel Gertner arrives. And like Chad said, this is like, I put that down too. I'm like, it's like all these guys are acting in a different scene. Like they're not all, they were in no way, like, because Gertner's talking about pressing charges. And he even says the solution is to press charges. And after he says the solution, Axel's like, what are you here for? What are you talking about? What do you want? And like, it's just like, are you even listening to what the man's saying?
He keeps trying to tell them. He keeps trying to tell them, and Devon keeps telling him to spit it out. It's like, maybe if you'd stop interrupting the man, he'd be able to tell you. It's like we're standing up for Joel Gertner. Like he's the reasonable one, and he's wearing a fucking suit with no shirt and a bow tie.
He sounded like the guy on Revenge of the Nerds when they went looking for a house, and the guy knocks on the door like, "No for it, no for you, fuck off." That's what Axel sounded like. His acting wasn't very convincing. Poor Axel.
Yeah, that's Joel's solution to the situation: is don't fight Big Dick, press charges.
He would have pressed charges in wrestling. We wouldn't have wrestling if people pressed charges.
He pressed the charges and had Atlas security arrest him.
Oh, it's a different story. What is that?
He even goes up to the Atlas security guy and he goes, "We want to press charges." He was like, "You want to press charges? What the fuck?"
And then instead of a police guard, they put Big Dick in the back of a Ford Fairlane.
That Tommy's old truck.
Like, I don't believe I'm being arrested. This all seems like a bit hokum to me.
No, I think it was the Geo Tracker.
that stupid truck. He sat on
They put
Tommy's
him in the
cell
back
phone.
of Jason's Geo Tracker.
How do you like my Geo Tracker? There's a
They
throwback.
tried to put him. They tried to put him in the front, but Jason was like, I like dick in the back.
Good Lord.
How do you like my gay sex pun?
He had
Nip him
his,
on in there.
he had his rainbow stickers on his tracker. Tidal wave stickers. Oh, big dick in the back. Good night.
All right, where was I?
Something
Well,
about making fun of Gertner, I'm sure.
After this segment, we roll into just pretty much a rundown of the feud so far between Pitbull 2 and Shane Douglas.
How does ECW get anything accomplished when all they do is just recap one thing from the? It seems like it's from at this point, it's years ago. Did they just tape one show? Isn't it crazy?
They have these rivalries in '96 really have been very, especially in the later part of the year, have been very drawn out, very long. Not bad, but you're right, Chad. It's just like, wow, how many times can we watch the same things over and over again? Because these two guys have been feuding for 7 months.
It's like Jim Cornette said on one of his podcasts. Paul Heyman can come up with a great idea and keep it going, but he doesn't know how to end anything.
No.
That's why that's why he's perfect for booking the Bloodline feud or the
Bloodline feud's gone on for 3 years because he can't figure out how to end it.
Yeah,
so he just keeps adding shit to it.
His only solution to like ending a storyline or getting somewhere with it is lights off, lights on. Isn't that it? All right. Well, I don't know how to end this. We'll just add somebody else to it.
Like Raven had to quit for Tommy and Raven to end.
Well, that's what I was about to say. The way that a Paul Heyman storyline ends is somebody leaves because they didn't get paid.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then he moves on. He moves on to something else. Well, I was going to end that feud, but
that's how Paul would definitely sell it too. He'll blame it on them for quitting on him. I cut him a check, but they're already 7 months behind. Like you cut him one check and you tell him not to cash it until like next Thursday or something. Yet he's still 7 months behind. I actually heard that on another show recently about that actually being a true story. And I've never had that problem, dude. I swear to God, I cannot never say the one bad thing about them as far as paying. I never got stiff, never got less than I was told. So it's crazy. But then again, I wasn't making Sabu money either.
I think another difference was that you were there when Todd was handling it.
Oh yeah. I called.
Like once he got rid of Todd, that's when the shit got sideways.
Yeah, because I was the tail end of when Todd would give you the money, but then I also saw that where Todd had the checks already signed, but they were all laid out on that table upstairs that were like blank with the names on them. So Paul was in charge of giving you the money, yet Todd had already signed the checks. So that one became not a one anymore. For like 2 days. Like, what do you mean? Oh, you got more coming next week. Okay.
Well, after the November to Remember the summary heading into November to Remember of Shane and Pitbull 2, we are joined in progress a tag team match. It is Rob Van Dam and Sabu. Oh no, I skipped something. They show us a video.
No shit.
Yeah, small footage, but footage from the match between Doc and Gordy and the Eliminators from High Incident. They didn't show me enough of this. I wanted to see more.
I have a whole line on my notes, like where there's nothing written on it because we were showing the clip of Doc and Gordy. Like I was waiting to write something and then like nothing, so I went to the next line. I'm like, they didn't give me anything.
Then we move on to Joined in Progress. It is Dan Croffett and Doug Furness against RVD and Sabu. So what I saw of this was really good. What they showed of this was really good, obviously. And I was looking at like wonder why. Why do you think Vince changed Crawford's name to Phil LaFawn? Like, I know
Honestly,
it might be a stupid question, but it's like I don't know. Do you think Dan Crawford was a stupid name or what?
I don't know. There was that old comedy bit that he liked, like that Lafong, not LaForge or whatever. I don't know if that had anything to do with it,
he
but
probably wanted to own. He probably wanted to own Phil LaFong, and he probably he probably wanted the rights to it. I mean, honestly, I'm glad you said what his name was, because according to my handwriting, his name was Flip Flongy.
Flip Flongy.
Because I actually forgot who it was for a second, and I'm like, who the hell is Flip Flongy in my furnace?
Flip Flongy in my furnace.
But I wrote it was good.
You need to call the HVAC guy for that one. I don't know.
That's who the referee is. It was pretty good, whatever they showed.
Aaron, any notes on this match? I don't have a lot of notes on the match, but
I don't have a lot of notes on it either. But like, you guys ever have like a spot that no matter how many times you see it, you're always just impressed by it? Like, and to me, and this one was really good. I always get impressed when I see a guy get DDT'd through the table, like when it's on the ring and the guardrail. Like, that always just impresses me. And they did that one at the beginning of this, or the point of the match at the beginning of it on the show. And that took Rob out and essentially made it a handicap match for most of it. So that's where there's really not a lot to it. Sabu did a good job, and Dan and Flip Flop, they did okay. Flip Flop LaForge or whatever his name is, like, they did a good job. See, I enjoyed the match. One thing I was gonna ask is, if you guys had to pick who's like, I don't know, this might be a dumb question. Who's better, Rob or Sabu?
At what?
Like, if you had to pick one.
Rob?
yeah, I would say, yes. Van Dam is all around a better wrestler than Sabu. I take nothing away from Sabu. I mean, as far as North American wrestling goes, he definitely was revolutionary. But if I'm going to say, would you rather? It'd be Van Dam.
All right, that's what I thought too. I just didn't know if I'd be in the minority on it. I don't think I've ever seen another. I don't think I've ever seen another wrestler like Rob Van Dam.
Well, and I was also and another thing is, as his career and Chad, you could tell me if you think I'm totally off base, but as Rob Van Dam's career progressed, he did more and got better, whereas Sabu kind of peaked right here. And he didn't ever really do more. And I'm not talking about like success or whatever. I'm talking about in the ring, expanding the types of moves you do, adapting to other opponents. Like, would Sabu have been able to go into the WWF?
No.
And work with Triple H and Steve Austin, and so that's why I give the nod to Van Dam, just because.
Rob was 100 times smoother. Rob has way less of a chance of hurting somebody on some of them moves than Sabooozeee.
Sabooozeee. There's the name of the episode.
Yeah,
Sabooozeee.
Sabooozeee would hurt a nigga. No, Rob's way too safe, and his safe isn't even 100% safe. He's just safer than Sabu.
Yeah,
Sabooozeee is a thing that you add to your detergent to help get your genie pants really shiny. There's Sabooozeee. And he's the bottle, like he's like this, and the liquid like comes out of his fingers. You tip him.
Add Sabooozeee to your wash. Your curtains will look like Sabu's pants.
Yeah, and Van Dam
with Sabooozeee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Van Dam has a style that looks reckless but isn't. Like, I can't I can't name a lot of people where he, ever hurt anybody. I mean, the only major thing I can think of is when he almost killed Triple H in the Elimination Chamber.
And he didn't even want to do it. Triple H made him do it. Like he
Yeah.
said, I don't want to do that. Like I think that's a bad idea. And I've watched interviews where he said that, and he was like, he's like, we didn't really practice it, and it's like I don't like it. And he said it was that fucking Dome's fault because he couldn't get the spring that he wanted.
He's the Dumbs. He said it's the Dumb's fault.
Dome, like he was in that elimination chamber and they made him jump off that fucking shark cage thing, and he didn't want to do it, and he fucking brushed Triple H's trachea. And he's thinking to himself, God damn, I just broke the champion and the guy's and the boss's daughter's wife or husband or whatever. I was like, I just fucked this guy up.
Yeah. Rob was he knew what he knew.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew how to like at least control a lot of his damage, when unlike Sabu was just flinging himself all over the place. Like look at a perfect moonsault and look at a Sabu moonsault. He's never done one, not one ever. He just fling himself over. That's what I mean. I'm not saying it's wrong, but
Rob Van Dam's style is calculated. Sabu's style is hope for the best.
Pretty much.
That's right.
I can attest to that, man. No kidding.
So we get where's my? I have the notes or the finish here.
I also did like the finish.
Aaron, give me the finish because I got it in my notes, but
the finish is funny because Van Dam or Sabu hits that triple jump moonsault, and then Prophet tries to splash him to break up the fall, and he hits one of the most picture perfect like gliding splashes that I've ever seen, and he just crashes and burns right on his partner, and then Sabu just rolls back over and pins the guy. It's like they had this great fucking match, and it was just a very quick, chaotic crash and burn ending, and I really enjoyed it. I thought this was a good match. I wish we would have seen all of it, but we didn't. But what we saw of it was really good. Rob ends up coming back, and then we get the post-match payoff.
And then I think Joey did mention during the match at some point that Prophet and Furnace were going to be at the Survivor Series.
And they put a bid in to be in the They put a bid in to be in the Survivor Series.
They put a bid in, like it was Crockett's Cup or some shit.
It's funny. It's funny because at this time, if you guys will notice little subtle things as you're watching this show, notice how you can tell when Vince started giving money to Paul. Because if anybody leaves ECW for WCW, they are a piece of shit. But now anybody who's leaving WCW or ECW to go to the WWF is putting a bid in to be at the Survivor Series. Or in our next match with Too Cold Scorpio. Too Cold is leaving ECW, but we love him. What a great competitor Too Cold Scorpio has been in ECW because they're going to the WWF and not WCW. You can tell that the Vince checks have started coming to Paul Heyman at this point.
It's like Tommy Dreamer. It's like Tommy Dreamer said. He's like WWF. We didn't like them. Like if you went, I was like whatever, But if you joined WCW, you were joining the Taliban as far as Paul Heyman was.
Well, I mean, what was the deal where if you stuck around, he would help you get to the WWE, but if you wanted to leave, he would call like Atlanta. Isn't that what he was offering people of some sort?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've heard different accounts from different people, but you can definitely
something to that effect.
You can definitely tell the difference in the messaging now that the Vince checks have started coming to probably Paulie's house. They're not coming to the ECW office. They're going to Paulie's house.
and the guy who answers the phone has a sign for him. The mystery house guest, the mystery doorman. Maddie in the house. Maddie's still in Paul's house.
Sleeping on the hide-a-bed.
Do we got the Scorpio match coming up?
Yes, that is the next thing that we're going to see. It is Too Cold Scorpio in kind of his send-off here, it sounds like, from ECW.
No, he's going into his send-off. His send-off is at November to Remember.
Okay. And his opponent in this match, they keep calling him Davey, but it is Kid Cash.
Because he was Davey Morton at the time.
Davey Morton.
I thought so. I couldn't wait to get to this because I was like, they called him Davey Morton, but I swear it was Kid Cash. But it was.
It was. He wasn't Kid Cash yet. Like he got trained by Ricky and took on Morton's name. Like it was one of his original ring names was Troy. I think it was like Troy Morton and then Davey Morton. He had a couple different ones. That's why he was wearing like the Rock and Roll Express type get up or whatever.
With
this was like really, really early into his career, yeah.
And I'll tell you, like my fucking Bruno, I'll tell you. But one of my like favorite not famous wrestling matches, just like a random match on one of those hardcore homecoming shows. Too Cold Scorpio versus Kid Cash. They have a fucking hell of a match on one of those shows. I don't know.
Little match here.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, when I saw that it was Too Cold versus Kid Cash, I was like, oh, that reminds me of that, or that puts me in mind of that hardcore homecoming match that I love.
Yeah, these are the names that he's gone by. Cash, the Crow. Then he started his career as Davey Morton. Then he was David Cash, Davey Paisano, Davey Paisano, obviously Kid Cash. And then at one point he called himself David Tyler Morton Jericho.
Good Lord.
And he was trained by Ricky Morton and Tim Horner.
It's like, what?
It's a good thing one of those heroes wasn't Ken Nagasaki.
Does it say he was trained by Ricky Morton and Tim Horner watched?
I don't know. But it's crazy because I said, oh, this is just him starting his career. It's not. He debuted in October of 1989. He's been around for a while.
Jesus. Too bad he wasn't from Central States. He could have been Davey Morton.
Kid Cash tells the young ones today, listen, kid, perseverance pays.
Yeah.
I was wrestling for 17 years before I got my big break.
Somebody complains about their gimmick, and he was like, I was David Tyler Morton Jericho.
I had no idea who the fuck I was.
He said he wrestled 17 years before anybody saw him. And they were like, well, who saw you? He goes, anybody.
Anybody.
I wrestled in Kansas City. No fans saw me.
I wrestled at a show where they made me wear wool tights. It was ridiculous.
Why wasn't he a Wolfman at some point, too? He had to have had a mask gimmick. That's probably when he said he was the Cash or something.
The Crow.
Something like that.
I think
the
Crow. Said the Crow.
Yeah, the Crow.
He's a jabroni. Didn't Taz do a run-in on this shit?
He did. I enjoyed this match. What they showed of it. Too Cold and Kid Cash. I just have Kid Cash on my notes, but
yeah.
Of course, Too Cold wins with the 450 splash, and then Taz comes out, hits the ring, attacks Scorpio, hits him with a T-bone suplex, and locks him in a Taz mission. And then, of course, Taz demands a match with Sabu, still calling out Sabu as we head toward their ultimate confrontation coming up at the pay-per-view in April, which is still fucking 5 months away, 6 months away. So we got a lot more build. We got a lot more build to go here.
Dude, wasn't this, to me, I thought it was pretty rare that Taz did the run-in. Like, I don't recall a whole lot of Taz doing run-ins. Like, doesn't he always seem like he's in the ring when he calls people out and then all that shit starts? But I don't recall him actually like doing the run-in.
Right.
Do you recall any of that before?
Not much. No, this is kind of the first. And I guess this is why I don't know why I missed it at some point during commentary or whatever. I'm sure Aaron's absolutely right. I don't know why I missed that Too Cold's going to be at November to Remember, because I kind of thought this was Too Cold's send off because of the whole Taz mission. You know what I mean?
I could be wrong.
Just the way this ended. Just the way this ended, I thought. But you could be right too. I may be crazy.
Yeah,
I just may be the lunatic you're looking for.
Maybe November to Remember is like his finish date. I mean, I'm sure that Paul would have bargained for that at least, you know.
Yeah. Because I mean,
they would have given him time to wrap it up.
Yeah, he's head of the WWF. He's going to debut at Survivor Series in a few weeks, so he's got some time to finish up.
He's gonna be at the show. He wrestles Louis.
Who?
I just looked it up.
Louis Spico.
Oh, that's gonna be good when we get there.
And then we kind of end out this show after Taz does the call out with pretty much a promo segment, a long promo segment for Paul Heyman to narrate the history so far of Taz and Sabu, telling the story. And I guess until we started me going back and watching these shows to recap ECW in its entirety. Like I say, a lot of this stuff I haven't watched since I watched it back then.
Right.
I didn't realize how long the Taz Sabu story was. It really is a long story with ups and downs.
Doesn't know how to end things.
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean, technically.
I think it started at Cabrini, for Christ's sake.
Because they say that the match at Barely Legal took a year to make, but they're already feuding, and we're 5 months away,
mm-hmm.
and we're already still at least a year into their feud.
And during this Paulie segment, they showed fucking shit from '94. So I mean, it's been even more than a year. It's been almost 2 years.
It's still going on today. That's who attacked.
Paulie was like
Taz.
Paulie was like in the shadows, like we weren't supposed to know who he was or something. It's like, what are you doing?
When he was describing it, when he had his dark face.
Yeah, he looked like one of those guys on like those old TV show, like investigation report fucking things where they like hide the guy's face, but you still kind of know who it is.
Yeah, I was wondering why, but he would still get close enough at times where you could see his face, but he would always be like in the shadows still.
What are you doing there, you pervert?
Like, what are you doing there, masked magician? What's going on here?
Pervert.
Maybe he was setting up to introduce Feinstein.
Paulie pervert.
I'm not going there.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paulie Pervert.
I have never seen naked pictures of that kid in my life. Or the Grand Wizard.
Paulie Pervert. He manages Buck Zumhoff.
Oh no. Poor Buck. He's getting it managed by Paulie. He's got naked pictures of Buck.
Buck naked pictures of Buck.
Maybe that's got something to do with the Punk and Paul Heyman favor.
Hey, Buck, show them your boombox.
It's got to have something to do with the CM Punk and Paul Heyman favor that's going on now. Can I please see them pictures of Buck Zumhoff?
And the Grand Wizard?
Yeah. And Paul's like, well, you got to team up with us at Survivor Series.
When you look at him, how are you surprised? Why was anybody surprised he was a pervert?
Paul?
Look at him. No, Buck Zumhoff. If you say draw a pervert and nobody's even ever seen that you describe, somebody doesn't know what a pervert is. An alien comes here and you tell them what a pervert is. And then you're like, draw me what you think what I just described you looks like. It's Buck Zumhoff.
But is he wearing a rhinestone jumpsuit carrying a boombox?
One of my favorite.
Have that mustache and that hair.
One of the most one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen in my life is I was watching an episode of Superstars from 1992, and Buck Zumhofe teams. I don't remember who he teams with, but Buck Zumhofe, you know, he has a nobody match with him and somebody teaming up against LOD, and just watching Hawk and Animal just fucking destroy him.
What about when Triple H?
One of those satisfying things. Oh yeah, satisfying. Fucking Triple H crowns him.
Yeah, Hunter dings him right on the top of his fucking dome with that pedigree, and it's like, oops, sorry, it was my first one. They all knew he was a fucking pervert.
So?
I don't know. I don't know if Hawk and Animal just didn't like Buck. Probably not. But like, I don't think his partner ever even gets to tag in. They just fucking cream him. It's fucking satisfying.
Well, do the math.
Don't tag me, pervert.
Probably that was probably on Legion of Doom, because that would have that wouldn't have been how that match would have been agented. You know what I mean? Because the other guy probably was designed to take the finish, but because the Road Warriors probably had heat with Rock and Roll Zumhofe from the past, they were like, let's put the finish on.
Well,
oh, I can totally see that happening.
They reduced him to a pile of stinky sweat socks.
Pile of pervert.
That's got Big Van Vader and Hollywood Bobby Starr written all over it. It totally does. When it was supposed to be the other guy taking the finish, and Hawk walked up to whoever the agent was and was like, no, we got to give it to this guy. He's got pictures of the Grand Wizard.
We're going to give the Doomer to the Zoomer.
I can totally see that.
So overall, gentlemen, as a go-home episode for November to Remember, what's our grade for this episode of ECW TV?
Well, we left something out, and real quick, because we got on to pervert Buck Zumhofe. Paulie gave a good explanation, finally explained why Sabu wasn't accepting Taz's challenge, and it was because when he brought Sabu back, him and Taz and Sabu sat down and said, like, well, I'm okay with him coming back, and Paulie said, just leave each other alone. And Sabu's been being a man of his word, and Taz is not. And that's the reason Sabu won't fight Taz, and they played that shitty music to it, and I Shazammed it.
In the arms of an angel?
No, the song, I tried to Shazam Terry Funk's music, but it just kept going, we're trying, and I was like, this is really rough. Like, I was like, yeah, it is. But
that was probably the Terry Funk thing was probably like a Jim Johnston cutting room floor thing that was supposed to be somebody's entrance music or something and never made it.
Never did. But this song is called The Road to Number One, and it's by a guy named Dave Becknell and his musical partner, who sounds like a shooter, like a mass shooter or something. Mark Wayne Liggett. Like, he sounds like he tried to shoot like Ross Perot, but not for like Jodie Foster, but for like
David Lee Roth Perot. Who'd you say?
Yeah, his name is Mark Wayne Liggett. It sounds like a guy that would try to shoot the president.
Well, the first guy you said, Dave Beckner, he listens to the show. He's a friend of mine.
No, this is Dave Becknell.
Oh, it's Dave Beckner.
But obviously the original music was probably November Rain. But
probably.
Oh, it couldn't have been. Not. You think still? I mean,
I do.
Come on, dude. It's been weeks that they keep playing that song. I thought it was Alice in Chain Grind. That's what I thought it would have been. Because I still can't find. We haven't seen it yet. Maybe, I don't know. The first time that when I got to Tennessee and ECW was on, and they were doing a video of, I'm pretty sure it was Sabu and Taz, and it was Alice in Chains grind, and I thought it was one of the best videos ever. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was the guy with the Bushnells, Dave Bushnells.
So that being said, I
still gave it a B. B
I did
minus.
too.
Oh,
I gave it a B.
Andy said that Taz is a coward and all this other shit, but then he said, but we're all impressed with a man with the build of a baby gorilla. It's like, what? Just called Taz a baby gorilla? Anyway. Yeah, I thought it was an okay recap show for what it was.
What do you give it?
I'd give it I mean, there's not really anything new to it, so I'd say like a C minus. Other than Davey Jericho and Too Cold, there's nothing new.
No Dudleys.
Yeah.
None of my favorite stuff.
It was just Dick Salt and Davey Morton.
Oh, that's the Morton
C
Salt
minus.
guy.
Yeah, Morton Dick Salt. That was another name that Kenny Cash went by. He just doesn't like putting it on his Wikipedia.
He wore a raincoat and galoshes.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, good night.
You know who else just wore a raincoat and galoshes and nothing else?
Buck Zumhoff.
He's a pervert.
Surprise!
Oh,
He's even got pictures of himself up like the Copper Top baby.
That's really a kid he tried to pull the pants off of.
He's the dog in it, though.
That's what I mean. It was taken from an actual photograph of Buck Zumhoff trying to throw a toddler.
All right, we're going to sign off now.
You sure?
I want to thank everybody for listening to Reliving the Extreme. I want to also thank you for anybody who has subscribing to our YouTube page. It is steadily growing. It's not growing by leaps and bounds, but with every show now, with it being made very easy for me to just immediately have every show on YouTube when it hits the podcast apps, the videos go on much quicker and it's much easier for me, and they're on more frequently. So if you listen to your podcasts on YouTube and you prefer to listen there, we are available there. The WNR Podcast Network on YouTube, both Reliving the Extreme and the We Can't Wrestle podcast are available there. And that's really all I got to say. Do you guys have any parting words for our listeners this week before we sign off?
No, probably not.
I think I've said enough.
All right.
Toodaloo.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time. If you're watching along, if you're following along, the next episode of ECW, I believe, will be December the 19th, 1996. We'll see you and talk to you then. Have a great week.